Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the PML Wrestling Show. It's the PML Crew, Homeboy Malloy, Professor Lopez, Robert Price is always with us. Homeboy, how goes it?
It goes well, Professor.
Nice. Thank you.
I like that.
I just thought about that, Professor, because of Money Heist, dude.
Yeah, that's what I thought when you said that.
I didn't even think about that.
With the glasses, you got the hair
I
going.
got Hefe, Professor. I do have the beard.
You literally could be the Professor.
I could.
Now we just got to organize a heist.
Yeah. Yo, what if we could heist WrestleMania, dude?
Dude, that'd be cool.
With the mask just on the big screen in Dallas.
Yeah, just put like the mask on there and you're just like, I'm taking all of your money.
That'd be like the mask that Brian Kendrick and Paul London had, actually.
Yeah.
Back in the 05-06 era. But, yeah, you know what? I'll take that. I mean, it's kind of weird. Professor Hefe, you know, it's kind of the same thing. But
Professor Hefe, I like that.
I
might change you in my phone to Professor Hefe.
I like that. That's actually cool. Yeah, keep it going. Keep the compliments going.
Man.
Keep the compliments going. We are the PML Crew, like we talked about. You guys could always, follow previous shows before we get into it. Just obviously want to say that. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at PML Show. And then wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, every Friday. And then if you guys ever want to watch it, we are on YouTube every Friday as well. Crack of dawn. That's what I always say. # crack of dawn. But yeah, man, what do you want? We got Mania coming up. We got AEW Revolution. Maybe we can show some AEW some love. You wanted to touch on it. It's actually a really good topic. Obviously, February is Black History Month, so we want to give some African American heritage some love with, obviously wrestlers past, present. I guess, yeah, past, present. We can't obviously predict the future.
Yeah.
That's going to be our Self High Five segment. And then obviously when it comes to respect also, especially in the wrestling world, Undertaker just got announced to be the headliner for the 2022 WWE Hall of Fame.
That's badass, man.
Very badass. No pun intended. Very American badass. Get it. So we're just going to talk about maybe that, who can induct him, maybe a couple WrestleMania matches that we liked. And then we're also going to do a continuation of a WrestleMania resume. We've done it with a couple so far. Last week we did it with Bret Hart. We are going to do just the first 12 of The Undertaker. So it's the actual streak, the first 12 matches that he had. Obviously all wins. So maybe we can discuss if you would have ended the streak, maybe an opponent or two that you would maybe change. We've always discussed if he was actually available at WrestleMania 10, who would you have him go against? So
same with WrestleMania 16.
Yeah, 16. I was going to say that's also going to be in that little stretch there too. So that's coming up in a little bit of the show. But let's get started, man. Elimination Chamber. We'll just do real quick because that's going to kind of lead into the Mania build. What did you think of? We'll just go with the two obviously feature attractions, the two chamber matches.
Honestly, show overall. Very good.
Yeah.
The two chamber matches were good. I think the women's, I don't know, it was okay. I wasn't the best women's match on the card, but I would say the men's Elimination Chamber was the best men's match, and I think the best overall match on the card.
Yeah, I agree with that. I like the men's match. It was I don't want to say a lazy booking, but I just think again I don't even want to say safe either. But obviously having Bobby not lose gives him that chance whenever he does clear protocol or whatever. I heard it was actual shoulder surgery he might be getting or something. He might be out for 2 to 3 months. Either way, when he comes back, he could obviously get back in that title picture. It's a good way. And then obviously that chamber just made Brock just look more formidable.
But honestly, dude, to me, it's just like it's building up Lesnar's next feud against Bobby Lashley because at this point in time, Bobby's pinned him. He's never pinned Bobby.
He's never pinned him, but he's won a match with Bobby.
He's won a match with Bobby in the match. So it's like, at this point in time, they're even.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no. Lesnar pinned Lashley. And Lashley pinned Lesnar, so he's one of the very few men to do that.
Yeah.
So it's like,
you could also say it was really
crappy
booking. Not crappy booking, but interference in the match.
Yeah, but of course, either way, like even Roman Reigns, when he beat Lesnar for the first time, there was interference.
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
So it's like, it goes without saying, I really think Lashley versus him is just the next feud, and they're building it, I think, correctly. Because even when I was watching Elimination Chamber, I was like, that's a cool way not to hurt I think, your biggest star besides Roman Reigns. That's not Lesnar.
I agree. I was going to say, he's definitely number 3.
He's 3 out of the 5.
100%.
And it's like, Lashley's probably my favorite guy going right now. I just love the character.
Yep.
He's an animal. Like, he's literally, like, to me, he's like a newer version of Batista. Maybe not Lesnar. I think he's like in that Batista role. Like when it was Cena, and then there was just Batista. He was number 3.
I got you.
So that's the way I look at it. But overall, that was cool to see that. Austin Theory, I mean, he's probably going to get rookie. I think he'll get Rookie of the Year.
I'm hoping he wins the U.S. title at Mania.
Yeah, I was
or
hoping
IC.
that.
I'm assuming he's on Raw, so U.S. maybe, because they're not really doing anything with Damian Priest. So
no, and I kind of expect it more with him, especially like, is he going to be Bad Bunny's partner? No, obviously not. It's going to be Rey Mysterio and Bad Bunny probably versus Logan Paul and
no,
The Miz at
the
Mania.
Mysterios.
The Mysterios, so they're not going to bring Bunny in for whatever.
No.
That's cool. I think like too many celebrities on a show can ruin it for the guys, especially guys getting paydays. Hey, I'm not the biggest fan of Dominic Mysterio yet, but
he's at least putting his time weekly.
He deserves a payday.
Yeah, no, I completely get it.
You know, he gets his,
but no, like you said, like I do think Lashley and probably Rollins are probably the like to go to your top 5. Probably like Lashley, Rollins, and then either Owens or Big E maybe, or McIntyre. The 5th spot's up for grabs, but I think it's definitely like Reigns, Lesnar, Lashley, Rollins. They should definitely have something going into Mania. Obviously, Lashley has a potential. I would say obviously we don't know what Lashley's status is, whether his shoulder can get cleaned up before that or not. But
honestly, if he misses it though, it's not that bad because he doesn't have. I think like if his shoulder's truly ruined, like destroyed, and he needs surgery, I would just do it now because it's like, who am I going to wrestle? Okay, I'll have a match maybe with Seth Rollins.
It might be a shitty build too, like they did last year with him. That's the only thing that kind of sucks. It's like. He had the title. Obviously, he was going to lose it anyway. But it's like, I feel like he had momentum where he could have had at least a featured match going into Mania, where last year he just kind of got thrown into the title picture right after that shitty angle with Lana. So it's like he had no build with the Lana thing, and then he kind of got thrown into the picture like a month before Mania somehow, wins it. So there's like no build. So it's like this year it's like, I feel like he's like solidified.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously we don't know what he's going to be with health-wise.
Yeah, so if it was me, I would be like,
But no, you're right though. Say if he misses it, like you said,
come back even stronger.
If Lesnar wins or loses, you either
he's
whenever
already 45, man. So like those injuries, like
they definitely add up. Yeah. But I was gonna say, like, at some point the Reigns Lesnar feud has to end.
Yeah.
Lashley is definitely equipped and probably primed based on that Rumble match to be next in line with Lesnar. Or even Reigns for that matter. So like you could definitely see in that main event level, Lashley definitely got ready for that. So yeah, like I said, I don't want to say it was lazy. I would have loved to see kind of like a showdown with those two, and then whatever happens. But again, like you said, long run that might actually be beneficial booking. Austin Theory took a crazy bump with that F5. That was awesome. I do expect good things for him, either at Mania or I think right after post-Mania, i.e. Money in the Bank. I feel like he'll be the perfect person for Money in the Bank.
I honestly think Austin Theory is what they should have did with Drew McIntyre when Vince proclaimed him the chosen one.
Oh, like back a decade ago?
Yeah, because it's like Vince McMahon is like, this is like the next guy, and then you never see Vince and him interact ever again. Where it's just like Vince is just like, I expect more from you. It's like, and he's like, he's like that new guy you hire at work that kisses the boss ass a little bit. Yeah. But at the same point in time, he's a really hard worker, and he's just always going to his boss like, what can I do to be better? What can I do to be better? And it's like
the only thing, not all honesty, I don't like is cool. But like his gimmick, it doesn't.
Tyler Breeze.
Oh yeah, I mean everybody knows he stole from Tyler, but to me it's like it doesn't fit the, like.
Because it makes him like almost like a mark. Maybe it's like I'm so happy to be here. Kinda. I guess it's like I'm a wrestler, and it's like, can I get a photo with you? Or it's like that's how like it took. It's like even like he posted one with Riddle, and Riddle's like
I saw those, But I was just like, Tyler, like at least the selfie was like it meant something because he was a narcissist. So like the selfies and the videos, it meant something. But either way, like I'm just not even being nitpicky because I do think he's gonna be, like I said, I think he'll be the Money in the Bank winner right now if I were to pick somebody. That'd be cool if he actually won it as being the U.S. champion because I feel like U.S. champions or IC champions never win Money in the Bank.
No.
Because like the Money in the Bank is like another title to have. So it'd be kind of cool if he was
Seth,
a mid-carder.
I think was the only person who really did that. And I don't know if he was Money
What
in
did
the
he
Bank.
have?
Well, remember Seth was U.S. and WWE champion at one point in time, but I think he had the Money in the Bank at the same time, maybe. Like on that same year, I think he was like Money in the Bank.
Oh, it was all the same year, but I meant like at the same time.
Yeah.
Like usually the mid-card champion doesn't win the Money in the Bank, so that'd be kind of cool if he did because I think he's a good heel, and obviously that screen time with McMahon, I can't wait to see what happens going into this WrestleMania season.
Because even he could wrestle Shane at Mania, like that.
Shane's gone, bro.
He can always come back, dude. He's a McMahon. It's
he
just
is
like
McMahon.
he's not going anywhere
That would have been a cool
else.
match to have. Yeah. Actually, it's a good way to either have him lose like defiantly, like Miz kind of did, or have him go over Shane. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I was actually thinking about I don't know who Vince is cool with out who you are, like who's synonymous with Vince outside of Shane.
Only Triple H, and like I mean, if
Triple H is way too big, yeah.
He's gonna have a match with Cody because if it's Triple H and Triple H is gonna waste a match on Austin Theory, it's like Triple H versus Curtis Axel. Completely destroyed him.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like that could have been a good match.
Like at least in a couple months. Yeah. I don't know why you're doing it now. Yeah, no, that's a good comparison.
He kicked his ass and that was it.
Over.
And honestly, Curtis Axel plummeted after that.
Oh, 100%.
Like I'm not saying he could have been world champion, but he
could have been like a Mr. Perfect, like a solidified mid-carder that if he was in the title picture, it's believable, but you don't expect him there long term.
I actually just kind of even talked about that. I'm actually surprised he doesn't work anywhere or agents or anything like that. But it's like,
he might be in the business so much, and you might have done it so much. It's like, let's do something new.
It's like
you have to remember too
when my family doesn't deal with food.
Yes.
I don't want to deal with food.
Exactly.
My whole life.
You have to think too, because even when he wasn't on WWE TV, he was helping pretty much have people come train with him for their comebacks, like when The Rock for their Survivor Series match. He was working with Curtis Axel. You know what I mean? So he's probably just I'm over this. It's like what Ted DiBiase Jr. did.
All the time. It's just like your dad, your grandfather, you've probably been going to matches since you were 5 years old. You're like,
sick and tired of these 3 ropes in front of me all the time. Get the F out of here.
For us, that's heaven, but for some other people, it's like...
Well, we're also not part of the grind, too. Yeah. Even when we were indie guys, we would go once a week, right?
Yeah.
And
sometimes it was a lot for us, especially a training show, and you maybe do a Friday, Saturday. Honestly, when we did Friday, Saturday shows, you did the Sanctuary of Excellence, I was like, bro.
It's the worst.
I just worked 50 hours this week. Now I'm doing this, and it's just
Then sometimes we'd have training on Sunday.
Yeah.
It's how much can I... I mean, I liked it, but it's just that travel. Yeah. If you're okay just doing one show.
I'll go work at the Sanctuary anytime.
Like I said,
this COVID situation's over with.
Oh, 100%. That's what I'm saying. So if you're okay with doing one show a week, that's perfect, right? Because it's just one show. It's almost like a hobby. I mean, obviously you're putting your body on the line, but it's a hobby. Where obviously wrestlers, especially in the WWE scale, you're traveling 3 times a week, 4 times a week. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. So he's probably just I'm over it. All that to say, Austin Theory, we'll see what happens for him in the future. Rollins was legit. Riddle, I thought was cool. I'm excited to see when this split happens.
Quick. I think maybe because of the chosen one, that's a good match for Drew at Mania. I think that's a good match, Drew and Austin, because they're both Drew's upper. He's main event, and then Austin Theory's mid card, but that's a good Mania match.
If you would, the only thing is that they're on different brands, so you would have to do a battle of the brands, which is okay. I think you should do more of those at Mania.
Because I mean, Drew McIntyre is wrestling between Sheamus and Madcap Moss, which are very. Sheamus is upper mid card.
Can we have a moment of actually a toast to the bump and the luck? I don't even know the word I'm thinking of. The supernatural body of Madcap Moss, because he should be paralyzed. So let's toast to that.
Literally, the only part I think is Sam watched of Elimination Chamber, besides I think a couple of the women's matches, because she's actually interested in that, which is cool. She's like, "Is that man dead?"
Yeah.
She's like, "How do you practice that?" I'm like, "You don't."
No, I don't know what he thought he was supposed to do.
If he did that, he's lucky he's not concussed or has a I would hate to be the next day. You're like, I can't move my neck.
Can't. There's no way, dude. Can you imagine the flight home? Because that's a 18-hour flight.
Yeah.
Bro, oh my God.
I know they fly the corporate jet over there for
No, I don't care what. Either way, you're in the air. There's no way that just feels good.
No, not at all. Especially your ears are popped. It doesn't matter who you are. And, you just got slammed around, so you're sore, you're bruised. You probably worked out pretty intensely before that, so you have a good pump on.
Yeah.
And plus, you're on the road every day.
Bro, insane.
Oh my God. God bless him.
Yeah. But, thank God he's safe, because that was scary. So that was, we did the McIntyre match, Elimination Chamber match. What do you think about, you said the women's one was but did you like the outcome of Bianca winning?
I did like that. She's probably my favorite woman wrestler right now. The Malloy household was pulling for Alexa Bliss because that's Sam's favorite.
And she just came back.
Wrestler.
She got a big pop, too.
She did. And it was cool to see the pop they got over there.
A lot of people did.
In a country where it's women are, they're oppressed. That's proof.
We talked about last week. Yeah.
So it's I was like, holy shit. Even Lita, I was like,
they got popped, dude.
You guys didn't get wrestling until maybe the last 15 years. And maybe there's probably a lot of guys over there who watch tapes and everything else. So I was just like, you didn't really get to experience it at the time. So I was like, holy shit, like they know who she is.
Yeah.
And that match would have been better somewhere else, in my opinion. But it wasn't. It was kind of boring. That was the pee break for me.
Yeah, when they placed it as that too, unfortunately, which is crazy for Becky because she's on this like hasn't lost a title match in like 2 years.
Overall rating in WWE 2K22 as Brock Lesnar.
Honestly, though, like if you're, like, I think this is what I'm gonna say. Like in regards to character, this big time Bex thing, I think it's bigger than the man.
I think so too.
And I honestly think in regards to female, like I said, character building. This is the best female character of all time.
I think so too.
Meaning, portraying yourself as a star. Charlotte does kind of, but it's also Ric Flair. Like, I've seen it. Big time Bex to me is like Elton John in a female form.
Yeah.
With the outlandish outfits. You know what I mean? It's like, I've never seen a female do that.
Or she's just Seth Rollins as a woman.
Technically, Seth Rollins got it off her.
Yeah.
Because he's using her stylist.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that's the other thing that's crazy about it. And I mean, I could be wrong because I'm thinking about this on the fly, but I can't think of a female that did this many outlandish like outfits, and obviously her mic skills are probably one of the best of all time. Also, in regards to female mics, I mean, she's probably top 10 of all time.
Yeah.
In regards to men and female, but obviously female, I think she's probably number 1 or 2. But yeah, like I think her character, like it's. Because, like, the thing with Charlotte's, like, it's been the same, right? Like, no matter what, her outfits might change at times, but it's been the same. She's thing with,
like, Cena just plays the same character all the time.
Yeah, same thing with Sasha. And Sasha's probably my favorite in-ring. Bayley's the only one that kind of changed. Alexa did, too, because of, I think her concussions needed her to, like, actually evolve into a character, which was, like, The Fiend's, like, mistress or sidekick, whatever. But every other person to me is like the same person. You know what I mean? Like they might obviously change their theme song, or they might change their hair, they might change their outfit. But to me, Becky, from what she did with like the last kicker, was like straight up Irish. You know what I mean? Like Irish lad. You know what I mean? And then she went to the man, which was a little Austin-esque. You know what I mean?
Obviously, like Austin, like you know. Honestly, on that Ric Flair thing, like I will defend him tooth and nail on some stuff, but it's like that man thing. Okay.
But he just said it to say it. Like, he was known as the nature boy. He wasn't known as the man. You know what I mean? Like that's why I can't stand that. But then, like I said, this big time Bex thing, like with the over the top outfits, and obviously her mic skills are great. I think that's probably the best. Like I'm trying to think of somebody in the '80s. Somebody in the '80s had to have done this before, but
maybe like a Gorgeous George or something.
Well, no, that's a guy. I'm thinking of a female.
There's no woman I don't think
I can't think of
whoever
any.
Came that had a better promo or a better style than her.
Yeah.
I mean. Yeah, Sherry Martel, she standing out. She had a really good promo.
Yeah.
She's definitely in the top 5 for women. Luna Vachon, she was very outlandish, but she was
different.
More, She was more like that vampire, Gone Grail, like biker style.
Yeah.
Like she might have been like in the Hell's Angels. But it's like with big time backs, it's like
I said,
it's Hollywood.
It just feels
like,
big when she's hot. Like when she comes out, or and I feel like you haven't seen that in a long time with a female.
And when she's on TV, like there's things like you skip around and watch, especially clips. Like when I see like a promo of Becky, I'm like, I'm watching this. I don't even care about her matches, to be quite honest. I'm watching the promo, what she says, what she's wearing. Like that's cool to me.
Yeah.
So overall, in a nutshell, I think.
But I'm
surprised that match wasn't better.
I was gonna say all that to say the reason why I'm like saying like how her prestige is to like I think marketing and obviously they were on the billboard and all that for Elimination Chamber. It's like, why would you put her on the P break at the Rumble? P break match. I mean, obviously it's not the legit, but I mean the staging of it is.
I started playing darts during that.
I would say I'll start calling it the calm down match. So obviously it's in between the two big matches.
I'm gonna go
and
check
then
out the t-shirt stands.
Yeah, and then like why would you do it at Elimination Chamber? Like why don't you start off the show with her?
Yeah, honestly, that would have been a better spot for that match instead of the Roman match.
Yeah.
Because you knew it was
going to happen. You knew it was going to happen. It was going to be finish, kick out, and then something was going to happen. I mean, I'm surprised he tapped. That's cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it's about time he tapped, so that might be his final match. But I did hear reports of Austin Goldberg at one of the other Saudi shows in the future. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen.
What's Austin making a full comeback?
I don't know. That's what they're saying. Obviously, it's a lot of money. Sean came back for one, so.
Yeah.
Let's do it, you know? Let's go with that Reigns match.
Well, yeah, I was going to say with Reigns and stuff.
Did you like that?
Yeah, I'm happy Reigns got over. He came out to had a killer promo. It's cool in other countries where, I guess English is a secondary language in Saudi Arabia because I would assume Arabic is the national language.
Makes sense.
But it's cool that like the fans understood it, knew to boo him,
I have a
they
feeling
were hyped for Goldberg, bro. Like, I guess
that's why
like,
they paid Goldberg the money for that. They
Goldberg's
pay all the legends.
Probably the biggest. Like, honestly, even like when you think of the Taker matches over there, the Shawn Michaels, the Triple H's, Goldberg I think is the most over person to go to Saudi Arabia. Like that's the only place he's over. It's like Bret Hart in Canada.
It could be, yeah. You're probably right. They need to have more Raws on or SmackDowns at Saudi.
Like,
just pre-tape a whole bunch of episodes.
All right, guys, we're gonna be here for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, Goldberg.
Will be here every night, and he'll wrestle.
Yeah. No, the one thing I'm starting to get the feeling of, Reigns, I feel like is gonna go face soon. I hope he doesn't, but the only reason why I say it is because this is the first. I mean, maybe he's been doing it on SmackDowns. I feel like he didn't do it at the Rumble. But you get on that mic before a match and you say the city and then you say acknowledge me.
Yeah.
It's very, very finally The Rock has come back to. It's when remember when Bray would be like, New Orleans, we're here. And like the crowd would just pop. Yeah. And it's like, a heel can't do that. Like, you want to get booed. So, I mean, if you say like, city of losers, like acknowledge me or something like that, like what Kurt Angle would pretty much do. He would go to a city, say like, if I won the gold medal, like how your Olympic skating team won the gold medal, like, I'd want to like
he'd rip
hurt
out
myself.
Lance Armstrong or something.
Yeah, like that.
I do drugs like Lance Armstrong. Meanwhile, in the back, I'm slamming Percocets. But whatever, that's all like that.
But that's what I mean. So like that's the only time you would acknowledge a city is when you kind of degrade them. But the minute you go like Saudi Arabia, acknowledge me, I'm like, uh-oh. Like if he starts doing this in the States, I feel like it's going to start switching that turn, which, hey, that's okay. I mean, as long as he keeps his kind of character, it's definitely better than the, obviously, previous good guy Roman booking that I think Drew, unfortunately, has right now. We'll see if that changes, too. All that to say, before we go over, I think we covered almost every match. I mean, the Ronda-Charlotte match, did you like that one?
That was the best women's match on the card.
Okay, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm glad I didn't skip it. Yeah, you liked it?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I just feel like it was cool, like the hand tied behind the back. She wore her judo gi. I thought that was really cool. What she wanted a gold medal in.
No, 100%, yeah.
Without a broken freaking neck.
Yeah.
So that was cool. I mean, I just thought that was a neat way to go into WrestleMania. Like, there's an avenue they're going. It's not just like, I'm going to wrestle you for your title. I'll see you in 38 days. I think it is today.
It is today, yeah, 38 days. You're right.
So it's like, that's one way to do it. Or it's like, have a tag match. I'm going to wrestle your friend. Your friend's going to my friend's
They've done
gonna
that
wrestle
before,
you.
yeah. It's good booking.
And that's good to me. Yeah, and that was done, I think, with like Saturday Night's Main Event. Remember they did that with or else like they made them tag partners.
So remember they did Austin,
like
they did Cena Michaels against Batista Taker at that No Way Out the month before. Like they've done it a couple times. It's good booking. It's a good way to get the crowd kind of enticed for the main events of the next pay-per-view.
Yeah, and you get to see them mix up, and it kind of builds a story to Mania, especially like Charlotte. It's like Charlotte and Ronda is like anything you could do, I could do better.
Yeah.
And the only thing I don't have over you is I wasn't in the UFC.
Yeah.
But right here, this is my world. You're not as good as me.
Yeah.
So that's a storyline, but you're seeing that there. You're like, and like Ronda's like, I could beat you behind my back. She's like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
So, and it was cool. Like Sonya Deville was like, yeah, my hand's good. Like,
yeah.
That was a cheap, dirty heel thing.
It gets two new people. It gets two new people in the in the mix with Naomi who deserves it, and I think Sonya does too.
Yeah.
She's just been injured. Unfortunately, that's the reason why she hasn't been wrestling. So, it's a cool way to get in the mix. Overall, Malloy, give me that rating, boy. Not boy. Give me that rating, dude. I don't know why I said boy.
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10, dude. Okay.
Probably the best pay-per-view that wasn't a big 4 that I saw all year. Even though I guess you would say it was like the big 5 because it was over there because it's such a big show.
It is, but there's gonna be another one later in the year, and it might be. I mean, I thought Crown Jewel was pretty good.
Yeah,
except for the finale.
Honestly, these Saudi shows really deliver, even with the undercard.
They do.
I think it's the crowd, man. The crowd really gets it.
It's so big too, though. Like, you really don't hear the reactions. Like you'll hear it. I feel like when the people or something's about to talk, you might hear it, and maybe the entrances because you have to kind of turn the volume. Like the production trucks are turning up the volume. But it's always hard with those open stadiums.
You know, it's something I thought was really cool just to kind of put a button on this whole like Saudi Arabian experience because I think it's cool like that. This is something that started like pretty much in the Canada, America, and Mexico, and Japan is now like a national wide thing. I was listening to an interview on the Kurt Angle show with Miro and Angle, and Angle's like, "Oh, what'd you think of the Taker like experience. He's like, I wasn't even supposed to be in that match. First I was, then I was out
supposed to be Jericho, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Prince called and asked for Miro. So, like, how badass is that? Like, how transcendent wrestling becomes. That's, like, literally, like, wrestling in Texas. And George Bush calls, and he's like, hey, listen there. You guys got Steve Austin?
Yeah.
Because he's a Texas dude, and, like, he drank beer with me in, like, 99.
I want Austin and Taker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's, like...
Terrible accent for me, by the way.
But that's amazing. Like, where the Prince of Saudi Arabia is like, hey, Vince, I know you're coming to my country and all. I don't like the Jericho thing.
Yeah, which is crazy, by the way.
And he's like, for me, we're paying you a lot of money. I really like Miro.
They just doubled AEW's TV deal, which is absolutely insane. Just with those 5 Saudi shows. Absolutely insane. It shows that's probably why WWE...
Good and that's amazing to see some of these countries that were like literally like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, were nothing, and their economy is so large.
You're right.
I mean, like Saudi Arabia, for instance, like imagine how much the fans, like they're paying their hard-earned money to get there. That's how they're able to this, and it's cool that it's however they do it, whatever they do. But they're able to get that money, and those workers that go over there for one night's pay are making maybe more money than they would make in a whole week.
Dude, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, the travel could be tough, but hey, if the paycheck's right, I'm sure
they
could deal with it.
If you're on a company jet, I mean...
That's true. No, you're right.
You're not going, like... You're not flying with, every Tom, Dick, and Harry and commercial flights.
No, I got you.
You're going first class with a bar and a TV, and your friends are all there. It's not like... It's like not just me and you on the flight. It's like our other 2 buddies that we don't see all the time. Like, oh, hey, what's up? We're all on the same flight. Where it's, maybe me and you travel together, but not everyone else.
No, I got you 100%. Speaking of AEW and getting lapped with the dinero, their pay-per-view's coming up. I think it's March 8th or March something.
Yeah, it's
early
before
March.
Mania.
I say it's definitely way before Mania. But anyway, it's called Revolution, and we have I think 3 matches are actually have been announced. I'm pretty sure based on the build on Dynamite and Rampage, there's going to be a couple more announced shortly. But we got Hangman versus Adam Cole for the title, which is kind of cool. Britt Baker, I couldn't think of her name. I was going to say Britt Bunder for some reason. I have no idea why. I think I was thinking of Thunder at the same time. So Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa for the Women's Championship. Dog collar match with CM Punk and MJF, which is kind of like two months in the making. And then we have the face. It's a ladder match. I forget what they call it. Face of the something. I forget what it is. But anyways, the winner of the ladder match becomes the #1 contender for some reason, the TNT title. You want to kill yourself in a ladder match, all for that mid-card title. Makes no sense, but Keith Lee's in it, Warlow's in it, and Powerhouse Hobbs is in it. So, I mean, that's a good... obviously, the match is a little... I just don't like the concept. I love the #1 contender thing. I just wish it was for the actual main title. Like, if I'm going into a ladder match, why do I want the mid-card title?
Well, I mean, they had... what was that match with Adam Page and that other guy that Jake the Snake's with? Lance Archer. What was that match? It was like
Texas Death Match.
Texas Death Match.
Yeah, it was a good match.
For no reason. It was just like, hey, tonight we're having a Texas Death Match here in Texas.
Get the ratings, dude. Gotta try to get the ratings. But I mean, it was an insane match. I mean, do you want to do it on a show or on a TV show? I mean, I guess so. That's where the most eyeballs I think would be. So I kind of
champion.
Yeah, I kind of understand it. And there was like a 2-week build with it. So I mean, that was done a little bit better than WCW, which sometimes they gave like a 3-day build and pay-per-view like.
Or they had pay-per-views and they didn't even show it on the pay-per-view.
There you go. See, we got to stop shitting on WCW, dude.
Yeah.
2022, dude. That's our resolution. No, I'm like kidding. They had a great cruiserweight division. I always say that to be... Say something good about them. Cruiserweight division. And Norman Smiley.
Norman Smiley's a hardcore champion. Was pretty fun.
Amazing, dude. He was like the Crash Holly of...
Yeah.
He was like the Great Value.
Very entertaining.
Yeah, there you go. Entertainment-wise, yeah. But anyway, what are you thinking about Revolution so far? You say you're going to get it. I'll probably join you as long as basketball doesn't interfere.
Yeah. I mean, AEW overall, I think is going to... It's a good secondary promotion to WWE. I don't think it'll ever beat it.
I don't think so either.
The pay-per-view quality, I look at all their pay-per-views. They're all very good for what they are, and they're very entertaining. But they're still like these WWE shows. Like I sit and watch them, and I'm just like,
I think the production's just a little better.
Yeah,
and obviously AEW's 3 years in.
Better, these everything else, and I think and it was like I saw like an article on Daniel Bryan, like he just commented, like. these kids mess around too much. Like there's too much goof, like too much
Makes
hokey
sense.
stuff, like backstage and everything else. He's like, and that's going to be like a downfall at AEW because it is a younger.
It is definitely younger.
Like so. Probably the average guy in AEW is probably 27.
Here's the thing, though. When you're doing this indie style, you need people that are going to take these bumps. Yeah. Like, Sammy's not going to do that bump in, like, 5 years. Like, the bumps that he's doing now, there's no way.
And that's what and Daniel Bryan's saying, like, these people need to slow down.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but again, that's the style that people want, and that's what AEW is giving them. That's why they're the alternative. In regards to production, I mean, I've always thought from the start that it's going to be hard to be on a production level of WWE because WWE's been doing it since '85, and obviously that's gotten better. Obviously in the '80s, what you had it wasn't the best, but I do think they will at least get better, and I hope that they will. Because for me, obviously being like a mass comm major, like I always think about like production on top of the content that I'm watching because I'm a wrestling fan. But what separates me, like for me, what separates WWE than everything else? To me, it's like the production for me. It's actually to the point where I think WWE sometimes overproduces, but I think AEW,
especially with their holograms.
Yeah, it's just like to me, I don't like that. Sometimes I just like that old school. Like if I put on the 1992 like Survivor Series, where it's just that one little entrance with just the lights around the entrance, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like I just
the
like
name
that.
bar. That was the coolest thing. That's about it.
I love the Raw with the RAW. You know what I mean? And then like the A was the Titantron. I love WrestleMania 10 or even the Royal Rumble, actually, to go with like the high def stuff, like Royal Rumble 08 at Madison Square Garden. All right, we were gonna go with the short entrance, but we're gonna light it up to make it look cool. Yeah. That's fine with me. Like that's cool.
The original SmackDown set was awesome.
Yeah, so like I'm always like down sometimes with the old school stuff. But that being said, that still production wise, like with the camera cuts and the promos were always good. It's just obviously that's more like an aesthetic look. Where AEW, to me, it's like their production's a little sloppy at times. And I think it will get better with time, 100%. In regards to the card, I think it's going to be great. I'm assuming Moxley and Danielson's going to be on there, which is going to be good. I'm assuming Jade's going to be on there to defend her TBS championship, which should be good. Jericho and Eddie Kingston, I think, will have a good match if that's on the show. Yeah. There might be a little bit of a flawed finish with that in regards to interference and stuff, but I can't wait to see who chooses what for that. That's going to be like the cool thing. So I do think it's going to be a good card. Do I think it'll be better than Full Gear? Maybe. Because I thought Full Gear, Omega was hurt, which give him credit because he got through that whole match, and that was a pretty long match.
It was very choreographed. And
yeah, I mean, we obviously...
It was an intense match. There's a lot going on there.
Yeah, he actually did an interview recently, and he has a lot of good points saying stuff about like Cody leaving, and then hopefully he'll come back soon. And like while he's out, he's just getting everything taken care of because he had like a hernia and stuff like that. So I'm excited for him to come back because I do think that's just going to amp up the product with Brian Danielson, and then CM Punk. Moxley's back now, so they could always go back to that feud. But yeah, I do think Revolution is going to be good, and I honestly can't wait to see it. So whatever, just let me know what that date is. As long as basketball's not interfering, your boy will be over. Have a couple high noons, and maybe a game of darts. We'll have to pick the match for that. That's what we should do
the dart match, not the pee break.
Yeah, that's what we should call it, the dart match. Yeah, I like that, the dart match.
So with Mania coming up, like I mean, we'll keep talking about throughout the weeks, but there's two focal points that I like really want to look at right now because it's like the Kevin Owens match is a big question mark because there's no build to it yet with Austin, and I don't think you could build.
Do you think Austin's actually coming, or do you think it was just rumors?
I just think it's rumors, man. I don't think Austin's. He's
almost 60 years old. Because Seth and Owens are in the tag team title picture.
Yeah, and honestly, man, I could see a Seth and Owens versus
Alpha Academy.
No, against Orton and Riddle.
Okay.
Because there's still no break in that storyline, and again, that's possibly the best storyline going is, hey, Randy.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the best storylines. It's the second tier storyline I think going in all of wrestling.
Yeah.
And then you have the Edge match where there is some actual opponents where it's like Bray, Cody, Cena, AJ. Like
it's gotta be AJ. Or I mean it would be Cena if he was part-time at least, but I would love to see Cena and Edge at Mania. That's one of the matches that should have happened at a Mania and never did. But I think that's AJ because that was supposed to happen at 2020
Because I
came
think,
to mess it
I
up.
mean, in a perfect world, I think Kevin Owens and maybe Kevin Owens versus Edge. You can't get any of those people, and it's just Kevin Owens versus Edge. Because you're not going to see Seth versus Edge. You're not going to see Seth versus Kevin. It's already happened.
Yeah, it was a good match.
It was a very good match for no crowd at WrestleMania. It was a great match. It was probably the best match on that card.
That's my favorite match on the card.
So, besides the graveyard match, that was really good.
Well, true, yeah. But I meant in the ring.
I mean, do you see? I don't see Taker having a match.
That's what I was gonna say, dude.
Dallas.
I was gonna bring it up with the Taker thing, dude.
So let's kind of like we'll take WrestleMania and Taker since they're synonymous with each other.
Yeah.
Do you think Taker has a match at Mania?
See, I think Taker needs to go out with a live crowd.
Him
Finally.
versus AJ one more time?
No, so I was thinking that, but I think AJ and Edge I'm cool with. I think Rollins. If you think of like post Cena era, obviously everybody talks about Reigns.
Rollins, dude.
Rollins he's just as accomplished.
Yeah.
Rollins needs that Taker match because Reigns already had it.
Because
Obviously.
at one point in time, like where I was comparing the Batista, the Cena, and the Orton, it's literally with the members of the Shield.
Yeah,
where
it was.
Again, it was the Cena was
Reigns.
Was Reigns. The Orton was Seth, and then the Batista of the group was
Ambrose.
So it's like
That's what I'm saying.
So it's like Seth Rollins has a great WrestleMania resume.
100%.
Bringing it into our show.
You could argue that he's Mr. WrestleMania post Michaels.
Post Michaels, he definitely is, without a doubt. Because I mean, look at the people he's gone up against, and just like Taker's last match against the guy who's always going to be there. From like you even see with the Steve Austin interview, Seth isn't going to AEW. He's making his money. He's got his school. He's always in a good place.
Yep.
He's never doing anything the Architect was the best, I think, of all of his gimmicks. But overall, I think to put a button on Taker's career and passing down your legacy to another guy besides Reigns, who I think Reigns was justified in beating him. I think if Seth beats him too, or if Taker but the typical guy does go out on his back.
No, I think
Taker would be a guy who
Taker would love to do that, but I think Taker wins because he could beat Rollins. I just think Rollins deserves that match.
Yeah, I think so
it's just a matter of Taker do you feel comfortable having one last match in front of the crowd? Obviously, I know you're happy. I know you were happy with the AJ Boneyard match, but it was cinematic. I know you were okay with like the preparation because you said it felt like a match, but there's nothing like that crowd, man. And listen, you got the AJ one out of the way. If you ever want to go back to that, we could always go back to that. But right now we have Edge AJ probably, which that was supposed to be the plan in 2020. Let's go with Rollins. Rollins needs it. And I think that drip, like the Rollins drip. I mean, I feel like he acts like a face sometimes. But then he's also a heel.
He's literally like Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm cool with that. He could bump around for Taker, obviously. I think he deserves it. And
because
regards
what kind
to
of
Owens,
bumps are Taker going to take? Taker's not going to take anything. Maybe besides he beats him down, hits him with a kick, and it's just like okay, he hits him with a curb stomp, maybe hits him with a suplex. He's kind of too big for that. So you wouldn't even see that.
Yeah,
you'd see a lot of technical wrestling. Taker would be slamming them all around. He bump on. So. That'd probably be a good.
Yeah, I like that one. I mean, obviously, if that didn't happen for some reason, obviously, I think the AJ rematch, which I did want until, honestly, like 2 days ago, I was thinking about it because I saw the Edge promo, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm cool with Edge AJ. But I was like, that means I would like Rollins and Taker if Taker's up for it. Who do you think inducts Taker?
Virgil. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey.
Think
about it.
Think about it.
Ted DiBiase brought him in. Who was the
Virgil's taking him out.
Who was the butler for Ted DiBiase, dude? Virgil. I'm just saying. Hey, there's lineage there.
It's his Alfred.
There you go. There's lineage. That's all I'm saying.
It could happen. But I'm gonna say
never say never, dude.
I'm gonna say either Kane or Shawn Michaels, or
then Kane or Vince.
Vince would be awesome.
I mean, Vince only did one for Austin. I think he should have did it for Hogan, but I think there's just so much love-hate with Hogan that he just didn't want to.
Yeah, when you testify against the grand jury against your boss, I mean, that's going to be weird.
I.e. love-hate. Yeah. So, I mean, I think he should have done it for, like, Hogan. I think he should have done it for San Martino, even though that was, like, that's more Vincent.
Father.
Yeah. But, I mean, that's one to think about. But definitely Hogan, Austin, Cena, Taker, I think, for me.
For sure.
If Shawn wasn't so close to Triple H, I would probably say Shawn. But definitely those three.
Yeah.
'Cause I think when you think of those three you think of WWE. Obviously, Vince had a huge hand in creating those characters in regards to them obviously putting in the work also.
And that's the only character Vince created in an era of just straight gimmicks.
That lasted.
Only one. I mean, you'll see like the Goon do like an indie appearance, but that's about it.
The Goon wasn't the best gimmick. Let's just stay with that. What was I gonna say? Who do you think? Like, I feel like Taker's such a big headliner that he could honestly just go in by himself. And I know there's still the Batista. I think Batista was like inducted last year.
He actually was never inducted.
But no, sorry. He was announced to be a part of it, but he was never inducted. That's what I meant. Because I was gonna say he was inducted, but he never showed up for his thing. So like, would you put him in this year, or would you just delay him again because Taker's so big? And like, can you think of anybody else that you would fill in for like that undercard of the Hall of Fame?
I mean, I feel like Batista would never headline a Hall of Fame based upon.
Really?
No, like.
Just got too big and then just like injury prone after.
Yeah,
like
I think
big popularity wise.
He's a good second guy, and I think Taker's not going to talk as much as Batista would. So you would have like Batista would still get his time to say thank you.
So you're saying put them together?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that's cool. I could see maybe. And the only thing that sucks is because a lot of these guys went to like Big Show's not in the Hall of Fame. I could see Big Show going in, but he's not because he's at AEW. I could see Christian going to the Hall of Fame. He's not because he's with AEW. Mark Henry already has his
ring, yeah.
And you're not going to see Owen Hart go in because that whole thing.
Yeah, Martha Hart, yeah. Is it Martha?
Yeah, it's Martha Hart.
Okay, yeah.
I honestly, is Ivory in the Hall of Fame yet?
I think so.
Yeah,
Don't quote me, though.
yeah, because she was around the time
the
TV show came back.
We're going to have to start fact-checking this Hall of Fame, because remember I completely forgot about the Dudley Boys. We forgot about Ivory.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's these undercards of some of these Hall of Fames are kind of forgettable, but...
And Kane's already in there. Taker and Kane at the same time, and obviously you're not going to put The Rock in with.
No, he's way. No. Yeah, it's another.
The
headliner.
Rock's going to be his own headliner, and so is Triple H.
How about tag teams? Anything? I feel like tag teams are getting to their point where I don't know what's like Hall of Fame, what's
not. The Hardy
not.
Boys again, but they work at AEW.
They're about to be at AEW. Yeah.
I mean Jeff Hardy. They were
Steiner's.
Awesome. Steiner's like gone against it, but I could see it because Rick, Braun, and. Like, I mean, hey, they're using him really well.
They are.
I think Dolph versus Braun, it was going to be at Mania. Or it's going to be a tag team match, him and Tommaso Ciampa versus Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler. And that's cool for
Tommaso
those guys.
doing double duty, by the way, too. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, so that's cool to see for a guy who just literally just wanted to be in NXT, and that's it.
I know.
So
I think he'll still stay in NXT, too.
I think so, too. Till Mania. Because it seems like the only time, like even him and Johnny Gargano.
All the time. They're like, yeah, we'll do Rumble to Mania. That's about it. We'll go back to NXT after.
So
smart people also.
Overall, like I don't see. Maybe the Steiners go in.
Demolition,
who's long overdue.
Smoking Guns, dude.
Bart works at AEW.
Oh yeah, he's
gonna
gone.
happen.
Billy works at AEW.
Yeah, Billy did that part.
Bart's still knocked out from Butterbean.
Yeah. That's funny.
I know. Scary but funny. It's funny because he's healthy.
Yeah.
I think.
I hope. Who knows?
If he wasn't, obviously, it wouldn't be a joking matter. But,
I don't
Quebecers, dude.
Quebecers, dude, yeah.
Maybe.
All day.
I don't know. Maybe. It's hard, dude, isn't it? It's really hard for the tag teams anymore. I feel like it's like Demolition and like Steiners are like the last two that are like
from the 80s,
definite.
90s, yeah.
But even 2000s, because I feel like the 2000s.
The Hardy Boys would have to go.
Well, yeah, Hardy's and the Edge of Christian. Like those are like the last four.
I just hope Christian is not going with Edge. For Edge and Christian tag team. Christian needs to go on his own because Christian's an incredible worker.
You're right. You're 100% right.
But overall, that's kind of my thoughts on Taker going to the Hall of Fame. I'm excited for it.
100%.
Who do you guys think is going to be in the Hall of Fame with Taker?
Yeah, let us know who you think is going to induct him too.
Ted DiBiase, maybe.
Could be DiBiase. Favorite WrestleMania Taker match that's not Shawn Michaels, Triple H, or Kane because he faced those multiple times.
Off
the cuff.
I'm gonna say Flair.
Flair?
That was just like I feel like that was a great match for Taker. Also, I'll say second one. Obviously, you can't say Triple H, but I'll say Triple H won.
No, I just said no Triple H, dude.
So I'll say Flair, and also
I got Batista Edge.
That's a good one, yeah.
Dark Horse Randy Orton because that's the first time the match with a Taker, well, the Flair match was actually good, but like the Taker match, the build-up match. The match, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. So let's go into it.
Yeah, well, no. I know we're almost pushing probably like 40, 45 minutes. Yeah. So let's just close out our show right now with the Self High Five because we haven't done this in a while. We'll do the Undertaker resume next week.
That's what we'll start the show with next week.
Yeah, we'll do
and maybe we'll do all the matches. We'll
so you want to do a whole show on it?
Dedicate the whole podcast to it. Yeah.
Look at that. Just
and
thinking
some
on the
other
fly.
nonsense that we talked about.
Yeah, I mean, we'll obviously throw in a couple sidetrack stuff that we always do.
If Austin
comes
back, that'll be a big topic, but I don't think he's going to.
Yeah. So let's do Self High Five. It's obviously Black History Month. This isn't a political statement. I just want to say this. I wish that obviously I'm appreciative because they obviously have a Latino and Hispanic Heritage Month too. So I get that you're trying to do it. I just wish there was like a whole American, like not separated by months. Yeah. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, because I think
so. It's like a disclaimer.
We're probably the only country in the world that
does that,
celebrates different nationalities, but we don't really. In July, I guess you would say it's American National History Month because of
Independence Day.
Yeah, but overall, I wish we kind of celebrated our own a little bit more.
Yeah, like
versus
entirety. Equality type thing. So I mean, I get you're trying to celebrate the past and what other people have done. I get it, and I'm appreciative of that. But at the same time, it's like I feel like people always lean back on that's like still segregation technically. But either way,
honestly, but just like saying this to be like not, I guess maybe to be political or not. I guarantee by the time our kids are kids, maybe you'll see more of a America who's the best American wrestler, who's the best Canadian, who's the best Mexican.
I hope so.
That are actually live in Mexico.
No, I get it. Like
that
are based on residency.
Went to Tijuana. Cool, he speaks Spanish, but he's Texan.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying.
So I think by the time our kids are kids, and that's something I could see too, where you have more American pride versus like I'm Irish American. I only care about Irish American stuff. You're Puerto Rican American, and it's like we're both Polish.
Yeah.
None of us and that's like half of us. So it's like that's celebrated too, but it's not like American where we're just kind of
I completely
dudes.
Yeah, exactly. Dudes. Yeah, we just want to be dudes. Women want to be women, or whatever you want to identify as. I guess I'll throw that in there too to also add to the equality. But either way, that was a disclaimer. All that to say, obviously, as it stands, February is Black History Month, and you kind of see the celebration in sports and politics and your daily life, and obviously wrestling's no different. So we're gonna give our 5 favorite African American wrestlers based.
And it cannot be Akeem the African Dream because he wasn't from Africa.
So
that we know of. South Africa could be possible.
If there's kayfabe, then he was from Africa.
Yeah.
Let's just get that straight. But if we're not doing kayfabe, no, I think he just missed it. I think it was the next country.
He might have been.
Might have been South Africa, dude. It might be in South Africa. Either way. So you want to go first?
Yeah, I got my 5.
Okay.
5 through 1. I got Ron Simmons, Bobby Lashley, Mark Henry, The Rock, and Booker T. And the only reason I didn't put Rock as number 1 because it's like, again,
he's the hat. Yeah.
He's got a couple other nationalities, and I'm just like myself. If I was getting obviously there's a lot of Irish bred wrestlers, right? So I'm not gonna say Vince McMahon, or I'm not gonna say who else is Irish. Myself, I'm not gonna put I'm not an Irish. I'm an American wrestler.
Yeah.
So actual that's the way I look at it, and that's why The Rock's not number 1. So that's kind of where
obviously I'm one of the biggest Rock fans of all time. I'm not even putting him on my list because I feel like, and I get it, he is Samoan and black or African American. I feel like he's just more billed as Samoan. Yeah. In a wrestling stage.
He's from the Samoan dynasty. What I mean, if I was him, like, what do you? I'm like, bro, I'm picking the Samoan dynasty because I'm gonna get pushed.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I know he's both. I know some people are like, "Oh no, you're not even black," and I'm like, "All right,
no, his father's African American."
Yeah, like if you look at his lineage, or more importantly, his parentals. Yeah, one of them is African American, so yeah, obviously he has to be. I don't know if you want to. If I need to change it, that's fine. But number 5, I got New Day as a whole.
Yeah, that's awesome.
4, I got Ernie Ladd. I think he was like one of the first big stars. 70s, 80s, well, 70s. I think 60s and 70s actually. Number 3, I got Jacqueline.
Yo, she fought like a man, dude.
That's what I'm saying. Snug got her stuff in. 2, I got Ron Simmons. 1, I got Booker T. Might be a little bit of a recency bias with Ron Simmons, but I mean, he's a stud, bro. Absolute stud.
Straight athlete, man. Yeah. Even watching those videos on the network where he's like training, I'm just
dude. Insane, dude.
honestly, him versus Shawn Michaels and him going over Shawn Michaels in like '96.
I would have believed it with those films. Not
Yeah.
not him as a gladiator, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, he talks about it. He's just like,
does, yeah.
He goes, everybody was a character. He goes,
Yeah.
I was like, Austin's like, yeah, I was the.
Yeah.
It was just.
It was just that era, like
Vince
you said.
really just wanted to make characters,
No.
and it failed.
You're
hey,
right.
listen, trial and error. The stuff he did with, before he got to WWE, and the stuff he did after, like
The
with
Nation.
APA and the Nation.
Yep.
I mean, I wish we got to see Rock versus Farouk for the world title at one point in time. Because
100%.
you're like, oh, you're this corporate guy. I'm the guy fighting against the man. And that didn't even have to do anything about color.
It's just
a
something you
dude-
can relate to.
Yeah, like that, and that would have been like literally the same Austin thing. It's like, you want to tell me what to do? I made you, so
Yeah, 100%.
awesome.
It would have been cool with, like I said, Austin or even The Rock, because, again, that's him going up against, like you said, the corporate. And then him and Austin were such friends, I forgot to go back to the WCW days.
Yeah.
So, that's our Cell 5-5. Let us know, who you think resonates or who you think should be the most celebrated African-American. Obviously, you're not trying to down somebody. You're just picking your favorite and explaining why. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at PML Show. And, again, you guys can listen to us wherever you get your podcasts. Apple, Spotify, obviously, are the two heavy hitters, and then iHeartRadio, Google, things like that. And then on YouTube if you guys want to watch our beautiful faces. But next week we'll cover the Undertaker's probably whole entire WrestleMania, because that'd be fun to do. It's actual theme. And then watch-alongs will be coming. We're going to talk about it off the air. We'll talk about that. So definitely stay tuned for those like extra episodes of watch-alongs. But we are the PML Crew. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening. Homeboy Malloy, Rich Lopez, Rob Price with us. As always, enjoy the time with your friends, family. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe. Watch that wrestling. And as always, peace.